Peer pressure is more of an internal force where people kind of like, you're at a place maybe where you don't want to be doing something and you just feel out of place. So it's not necessarily people pressuring you to do something, it's more of you pressuring yourself.
There are several ways one can deal with peer pressure. First of all, you can simply stop hanging out with whoever's putting the pressure on you. If your friends are doing something that you're not comfortable with, then just stop hanging out with them.
Hey Matthew, everyone else is doing it.
Okay, Thomas. No.
But it's cool.
What are you doing? Okay. Alternatively, one can try and convince your friends to stop doing whatever activity you're uncomfortable with. If your friends are doing something, you feel like they're pressuring you into doing it, talk to them. See if you can stop them from doing whatever activity it is. Either way, you need to get away from the pressure that's causing peer pressure on you. You have to get away from the bad influence.
I think the best way to eliminate peer pressure is to just not put yourself in the situations in which you would be subjected to peer pressure. And, like Matthew said, to talk to your friends, or, just get new friends.
This is a little story about consequences that most of you probably have heard if you went through driver's ed, but I'm just going to review it real quick. This is Jackie Subarito at 20 years old, and when she was 20, in August 1999, she came to the United States, actually to the University of Texas, to study English. And this is Reggie Steffi, and he was a high school senior, a big football star and baseball star, and never got into trouble one day in his life. And he went out drinking with his friends, and he thought he was okay to get into a car. So on September 19th, 1999, Jackie and Reggie's crossed paths. And Reggie's SUV went across the center line after he'd gotten in the car and drove. Jackie was burned. 2 passengers in Jackie's car died instantly, and Jackie was trapped in the burning car, and she was burned on 60% of her body with 3rd-degree burns. She has had over 200 surgeries and looked like this after the accident. Her fingers had to be amputated, and her hair, her skin, or her nose and her ears were burned away. She is totally dependent on her father now, and her plans for the future were pretty much ruined. Reggie was charged with 2 counts of intoxicated manslaughter, and he served 14 years in the state penitentiary, and he is now out of jail, but he gives motivational speeches on the importance of not driving while intoxicated. So this is Jackie now, and she is still suffering from the accident and the mental toll that it has taken on her, as well as physically. So, and she still has surgeries. So, this is a story that should speak to everyone, because Reggie didn't know that he was going to kill 2 people that night. And just because you think that it's not going to happen to you doesn't mean that it isn't. It's still a huge possibility, and you can't think about yourself. You have to be selfless when you're making decisions such as getting in the car while intoxicated. So.
Drugs and alcohol can be really bad for you, but people never think that this can happen to them. I didn't think it could happen to me and my family, but it did. My cousin his biggest dream was to join the military. He got into college, and after college, he applied for the military and got in. But he made a stupid decision to bring weed with him. Whenever they found it on their random room searches, he obviously got kicked out, and that was his biggest dream. Joints can kill your dreams. Do you really want that to happen to you?
Hello, I'm Ryan Bean, and I'm here to talk to you about the consequences of alcohol. First, I'd like to start off with two little things. I would like to inform you all that we are accepting applications for next year's peer counseling. This is a great club, and I encourage anyone who wants to make a difference here at Kelly to sign up in the counselor's office. Also, I did write out my speech, so excuse the lack of eye contact. Alcohol at 0.02 blood alcohol concentration divides your judgment in half. And also, at 0.05, your motor skills are impaired. In this video, we are talking about personal stories, not because we want the whole school to know about our personal lives, but it is because we want y'all to know it could happen to anybody. On July 22nd, 2013, I was down on a beach in Port Aransas having some fun with some friends. I was drinking, and as responsible underage kids drinking can be, we had all our bases covered. We thought. We had a designated driver to drive us home. But our DD started drinking, and when it was time to leave, we decided he was no longer able to drive. I remind you, all of our judgment and motor skills are divided in half. So I decided to drive. And as we were following some people we had met earlier that day on the beach to go eat dinner, we are following the car, and as we're following it, the car in front of us was driving crazy, doing donuts, and then all of a sudden, she slammed on her brakes in front of us and opened up her car door. I swerved and tried my best not to hit her car, but I hit her car door. On July 22nd, 2013, is the day I got charged with driving while intoxicated. I spent 23 hours and 19 minutes in jail. Every minute in that place felt like a year. And for the first 12 hours, I was in solitary confinement in a 7x7 cell. And then, for the next 11 hours, I was in a holding tank that was no bigger than 10x20 with 40 men. I made my dad, it's a huge trial, he's a lawyer, to come bail me out of jail in the middle of the night. After that, I spent 5 months and thousands of dollars on what was going to happen to me. The girl whose car I hit was blamed by the insurance 100% for the accident. So she was mad, and she fought for me to go to jail. After those 5 months, I finally was offered a deal from the district attorney's office. It's probation for a year, and if I complete it with no mess-ups, they will drop the DWI. For the next year, I cannot touch a firearm. I have hair, follicle, and urine tests that are random, and I have to drive to Corpus Christi to take them on a 6-hour notice. My curfew is 11 o'clock. I have a breathalyzer in my car that I have to blow for 7 seconds to start my car. Randomly, but after that, it'll go off. And then I have to take monthly trips to Corpus to meet with my probation officer. I have a bunch of community service, and I had to go to drunk driving classes and a Mother Against Drunk Driving lecture. I made a mistake one day, and it's not easy for me to tell the whole school about it, but I do not want this to happen to any of you because it will mess up your life, and it was not worth it. Please be safe this weekend at twerk.
So, this time, since our theme is consequences, our activity has to do with duct tape. So everyone gets a piece of duct tape, and about the length of your forearm, which we already have, and you're going to try to make a knot out of the duct tape. And once you've made that knot, we are going to try to get it back to the original pieces of duct tape. So, as you can see, it's not that easy. So this represents when you do things, the consequences, they're not so easy to undo what you did. So,
And each duct tape represents a decision that you've made. And every little decision you make affects you in the future. And some may be bad, like this knot, and others you may be able to undo. But just make sure that all the decisions you make are helping your knot go towards a better cause.